Today I'm going to show you a 2020 American war film called Greyhound. The movie begins with speeches by Winston Churchill and Franklin Roosevelt during World War II. It then shows a group of ships in the North Atlantic in February 1942. A warplane is covering a convoy of ships traveling from the United States to Europe through an area called the Black Pit. After some time, the air escort is forced to leave and return to headquarters. The convoy, known as a Chex 25, is heading to Liverpool. It consists of 37 troop and supply ships escorted by 4 light warships led by the Greyhound. The captain is inside his cabin kneeling and praying to God for protection. He is US Navy Commander Ernest Ernie Krause. 2 months earlier in San Francisco, California during Christmas in December 1941, Ernie is sitting in a hotel lobby waiting for Evelyn, the love of his life. When he sees her approaching, he immediately stands up and warmly welcomes her. They sit together on a nearby couch and exchange gifts. Ernie gives Evelyn a Christmas tree ornament with the words yesterday, today, and forever, inspired by the Bible. She is happy with the gift and says she will place it on her Christmas tree. Evelyn gives him 2 gifts, a pair of monogrammed slippers and a small toy warship. Ernie feels confused about the meaning, and Evelyn gently explains that it will remind him that the Greyhound mission is his first time leading a ship. Ernie tells her that they will go to Norfolk. Evelyn is confused because she thought they would go to Treasure Island. Ernie takes a ticket out of his coat and asks her to come with him, planning to propose on a tropical island. However, Evelyn refuses his offer. Back in the present, Ernie is preparing for his morning watch. It is Wednesday, the 4 on watch from 800 to 200 with 50 hours remaining until air cover returns. When Ernie gets on board, he asks how the night shift went. The officers inform him that 2 men, Fleur and Shannon, had a quarrel the previous night. George Cleveland, the main butler and chef on board, tells Ernie that he will prepare his breakfast. Minutes later, Ernie orders the officers to bring Fluster and Shannon to his office to explain what happened. When they enter, they feel the pressure of Captain Ernie's presence. Both men apologize and promise not to repeat their behavior. Fortunately for them, Ernie is called away due to an emergency on the bridge. Other warships, Harry and Eagle, are under attack. He reacts quickly and orders another warship, Dickie, to stay alert for any threat. They continue communicating over the radio as all the crew members remain focused and watchful. Tension rises as panic begins to spread among the men. Ernie orders Harry to maintain position. One of the officers whistles and Ernie realizes they are in serious trouble. They detect a German submarine nearby. The radio operator tries to keep communication steady as the danger approaches. They keep updating the distance and location of the submarine. However, they sometimes lose the signal because the submarine keeps submerging. They are unable to detect it consistently. At one point, the range becomes unknown on their detector. When they realize the submarine is very close, they quickly turn to avoid a collision or explosion. They estimate the submarine is moving at a slow speed under 60 revolutions per minute and is about 100 yards away. However, they do not have enough time to slow down as the distance rapidly decreases to 1,000. Ernie orders them to set the rudder to avoid the submarine beneath them. The situation frustrates them because there is no clear contact with the submarine's exact location. Suddenly, it surprises them by appearing directly underneath. The hydrophone signals become extremely loud, forcing the officer to remove his headphones and alert everyone. Ernie orders a rolling fire attack from their ship. The attack is powerful, but at first there are no signs of oil leaks or debris in the water. They begin to lose hope as there is still no confirmed contact with the submarine. Then the crew on the upper deck shouts that oil and debris are floating on the surface. This signals that they have successfully destroyed the submarine. Everyone celebrates with relief and happiness. Ernie congratulates the crew, especially Epstein, for their efforts. After the first attack, Lieutenant Nestrom approaches Ernie and reports updates about their ship and the situation of the other vessels. Meanwhile, Cleveland notices that Ernie has not eaten any of the meals prepared for him. He keeps replacing the food, but Ernie remains too focused on his duties. His mind is occupied, especially since this is his first U-boat victory. Moments later, the brief relief ends as 2 ships in the convoy, Despotiko and Cadena, are seen on fire. They spot a torpedo moving underwater and realize the German forces are attacking again. Ernie communicates with the other ships and orders a rescue for Cadena. At the same time, Epstein hears distant underwater noises again. Soon, ships like Harry, Dickie, and Eagle report that they are also detecting submarines. One by one, they confirm multiple contacts on their radar. 6 German submarines slowly reveal their presence. Signals and messages indicate that the enemy forces are now within 3 miles. Ernie orders his crew to fire at them. However, the submarines quickly submerge, making them difficult to hit. Unfortunately, their radar begins to malfunction. Despite Rudolph's efforts, the system does not improve. It is still Wednesday. Now, during the dog watch from 1600 to 2000 with 36 hours remaining until air cover arrives, they are forced to reduce speed to prevent damage to the turbine which could destroy the ship. In the distance, distress rockets light up the sky. Even at night, the submarines continue their attacks. The Greyhound also returns fire repeatedly. They keep shooting until they suddenly realize that Allied ships are accidentally firing at each other. Ernie immediately orders a ceasefire. At that moment, a massive vessel appears nearby. A ship moves dangerously close to them, almost causing a collision. Another one of their ships attacks a submarine, but the submarine releases a decoy device. It acts like a false signal, tricking their radar into detecting it as a real target. They continue firing, believing something is still underwater. Later, they realize it was only bait. Meanwhile, officers inform Murney that survivors from a destroyed ship are swimming toward them. He hesitates for a moment, deciding whether to rescue them. In the end, they choose to save the survivors. Charlie then informs him that another ship, the Southland, has been destroyed. A distress signal confirms that 28 men from that ship have survived and are being rescued. Soon after, the captain of the Harry contacts Greyhound and reports that the target has moved out of the perimeter. After the call ends, the German submarine captain known as Grey Wolf sends a message through their radar. He threatens that they will destroy them no matter what. He also tells them to accept that they are losing. This message angers Ernie. The night continues with both sides exchanging heavy fire. The next day, Thursday, during the morning watch from 400 to 800, there are 26 hours left until air cover arrives. The officers gather and report the casualties from the previous night. 5 ships have been destroyed: Vasco, Southland, Corning, Palm Baron, and Powell. 2 other ships are heavily damaged. There are 24 survivors and 210 confirmed deaths. This report deeply affects Cerny, filling him with grief as he looks out the window. Suddenly, a call from Harry reports that the enemy has been sighted again and is launching another attack. The problem is they do not have enough firepower to protect all the ships behind them. As Mr. Fipple explains, Ernie orders Charlie to break protocol in order to protect the convoy and survive. From another part of the ship, Epstein warns that German submarines are approaching again. They manage to hit one target, but it is not enough. The captain of Dickie assures Ernie that they will do their part to fight the enemy. As Dickie attacks Grey Wolf, Greyhound narrowly avoids 2 torpedoes launched at them. Dickie reports that they hit the submarine, but they are not certain it was destroyed. It appears damaged and slowly submerges. Dickie continues assisting because Greyhound struggles to hit the submarine as it stays deep underwater. The submarine attacks from one side of Greyhound. They respond quickly and counterattack, finally taking it down. Back in the command room, Bill reports casualties to Charlie and Ernie. 6 crew members are affected. 3 are injured: Bonner, Meyer, and Forbury, who is in critical condition. The worst news is that 3 men have died: Pisani, Marks, and Cleveland. They pause from combat to honor their fallen crew members. All the crew gather on the deck to pay their final respects. The crew gives the fallen men a gun salute in honor of their sacrifice. Their bodies are then committed to the ocean. After the funeral, Ernie reports that Eagle has been hit along with Cadena. He asks for further updates, but soon learns that the Gustav has also been destroyed with no survivors. Sadly, he puts down the phone after saying goodbye from Greyhound. Later that evening, from 200 to 2400, there are 14 hours left until air cover arrives. Carling informs them that he is ready to relieve Harvard. They switch positions as everyone is exhausted after the intense past 24 hours. Ernie looks out the window and sees a damaged ship with survivors being rescued. A call from Eagle comes through asking for permission to abandon the ship. Ernie approves and thanks them for their service. With Cleveland gone, a new butler named Pitts takes his place. At one point, Pitts is mistakenly addressed as Cleveland. Ernie calls Charlie to the deck to discuss their next plan. They realize they cannot continue attacking the German submarines. All ships, including Dickie and Harry, are running low on fuel and ammunition. Ernie sends a request to the Admiralty for urgent air support. They wait anxiously for a response. Meanwhile, the captain of Grey Wolf contacts them again through the radio. He warns them that they will all die and that another attack will come when they least expect it. Fortunately, the Admiralty responds quickly, informing them that help is on the way, but they must wait for hours. By Friday morning, during the 802-200 watch, only 3 hours remain until air cover arrives. Ernie asks for his slippers because his feet are injured and covered in blisters. He wears the monogrammed slippers given to him by Evelyn. Suddenly, 2 enemy targets appear on radar. They are German submarines less than 100 miles away. Grey Wolf sends another message, declaring that this will be their final day. Ernie calmly asks for more coffee. As the tension rises, the attack begins again. With limited ammunition, they do their best to avoid incoming torpedoes. One torpedo strikes their ship but fails to explode. Seeing an opportunity, they launch a final attack on Grey Wolf. They successfully hit it, causing it to rise to the surface. They continue firing until the submarine is completely destroyed. The crew celebrates briefly, but the battle is not over yet. Another German submarine is still nearby. Greyhound struggles to locate it and their ammunition is nearly depleted. At a critical moment, air support finally arrives. The aircraft drop bombs, successfully destroying the remaining submarine. With that, all enemy threats are eliminated. As the mission nears its end, a British ship, HMS Diamond, approaches them. Its captain congratulates Ernie on his first successful command. He asks if Greyhound will continue to launderer. Ernie declines, explaining that they must stop due to low fuel. Diamond understands and begins rescuing survivors from damaged ships like Harry, Dickie, and Eagle. After 3 exhausting days, Ernie is finally able to rest. He allows Carling to take command, which surprises the crew. As he heads to his cabin, he hears noise from outside and looks back at the deck. Soldiers from other warships aboard HMS Diamond are cheering and thanking Greyhound. Ernie becomes emotional as he watches the survivors. The movie ends with Ernie cleaning himself before going to bed. He prays once again, thanking God for helping him survive. Finally, he lies down and falls asleep. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this to support the channel.